Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored by Spiegel Law PC, 516-873-1683, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, and Reister's Bakery. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dan, and welcome to This Week in West Hempstead. It's just Dan and I today. Norm is out in the rainforest. I'm not sure exactly where he is, but
better him than me. By the way, it's snowing outside.
Yeah, what's
the heck
going on? You know what? When I saw this, I didn't even realize it. Like I've been down in the basement, and all of a sudden, when I saw you coming in, I'm like, what the heck?
What's going on? I mean, we had 3 gorgeous days. I got out on a bike a couple of days. It was fabulous.
Yeah.
And now we're going back to this nonsense.
Like we broke 70.
No, thank you. Exactly.
This is nuts. And and here's the problem leading into our first story. You got these extreme cold, and then these warm weather, and then you got rain, and then you got thunderstorms and all this stuff.
What happens to the roads, Dave?
Yeah, potholes. Holy crap. It's crazy. So I got to tell you, I was this afternoon. I had to drive over to our favorite dry cleaners, Jeff at Tiffany Dry Cleaners
in Merrick, New York,
and they're in Merrick. So to get there from here, typically you go down Eagle Avenue and you pick up the Southern State, right by the park.
I know right where you're going with this,
and it's like Eagle Avenue it's just a crap show. The potholes are so huge, especially when you get by the entrance.
The bridge that goes over the top there.
Yeah, you're just like you're just like driving. You're making a left and a right, and you're going 5 miles an hour. God forbid you blow out a tire, you break an axle. It's like it's enough already.
Yeah, I don't want to say that it's bad, but the potholes have potholes there.
It's unbelievable. So, good news, some potholes are getting filled, like the one.
And how did that happen? What do you think triggered that, huh?
Well, that was Adam and the power of Echo. And Adam, who lives right off of McKinley, which is like one of the worst streets. It's like half of the street is paved and half of the street is also just a disaster.
Or something.
Day after he posted, with the potholes, guess what? Potholes are filled.
I'm going to correct you here. I think it was the same day.
Yeah.
Because he went ahead and tagged the town of Hempstead, and I think he tagged the supervisor. And our friend Maureen Mahoney from the Civic Association was like, you got to let them know. And he's like, I tagged them. And 4 hours later, all of a sudden, the pothole's filled.
Well, here's the thing. Not every citizen can, has the power of Echo. Although you could, a lot of people did in the comments, leave where, the worst potholes are. The town of Hempstead does have a hotline that you can call, let them know. But they're usually a little bit more on top of things. I mean, it's some of these areas. I'll tell you another one. Hempstead Turnpike by the Cherry Valley
by the supermarket over there.
There's this weird entrance that kind of has like a V shape, and there's just these like monstrous craters that live somewhere between Hempstead Turnpike and the parking lot. There's no way you can just go over that without causing damage to your car. It's crazy. It's like we're living in like a third world nation. It's like
the fact that the potholes end up there is just to be expected, right? We've got asphalt roads. We got lots of snow to salt.
Every year.
It's all normal. The problem is they we don't see anybody fixing them again unless you call. By the way, I'm not going to do it now, but I have an absolute rant about that intersection at South Cherry Valley and Hempstead Turnpike because people are unbelievably stupid over there.
Yeah.
Trying to make turns in places they shouldn't, but we'll save that for another rant.
We'll save that for another time. And because, again, it's all tied into the potholes. It's enough. Town of Hempstead, County of Nassau, listen to the people in the community. Fix it. If you have to work 24 hours a day with road crews, this is what you get paid to do. It's what you get paid to do overtime. This is what's in the budget.
And honestly, I mean, God bless the guys. They worked very hard, but they probably didn't have a lot to do all winter during the snow part. That was for the sanitation to get rid of the snow, meaning you guys should be nice and rested to come and do this. By the way, so go to our Facebook page, because we want you going to our Facebook page. Look for that post that we put up a couple of days ago about the potholes. Use those links and go ahead and report stuff so that the town can find them, and you don't have to go hunting through a 1,000-page website to figure out where the heck to report this stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy time, and again, it's all over. It's not just West Hempstead; it's the whole region. Highways sometimes are just as bad as local streets. Probably LIE, I assume, is a little bit better because it's part of the interstate. But wow, what a mess!
Mind your axles. That's all we'll say.
Yeah, tough times to be a driver.
Yep.
So Dan, we had that interesting interview earlier this week with the folks over from the Diamond Charter School. We interviewed the
executive director. It was the head of communications and the principal of the school.
Yeah, and nice people. It was a really good interview. We learned a lot about the charter school and what they're chartered to do in West Hempstead. We got into a couple of questions about the budget and things like that. Listen, I don't think we need to go through it again on the podcast. You want. Yeah. Go watch it. I mean, it's gotten hundreds of views, and it was very forthcoming.
We should talk about the comments a little bit. There weren't a lot, but and I'm not. Listen, I think it's a good thing for people to have their say, and it's as good a place as any for people to express themselves. And there was some questions about whether we were tougher on these people than we were on the school district, and I don't think that's entirely fair because frankly we've brought some pretty heavy questions back to the head of the school district and their business manager and the rest of it. I will say this. Watch the interview, see what they have to say, and when it comes time to talk about the West Hempstead School District budget, you reach out to us and give us the questions you want us to ask. If they're good questions, we'll bring them in front of them. Why not?
Yeah, and our good friend JB posted the video up on the official West Hempstead site, and there was a lot more comments there. Again, some folks are really bent out of shape about the whole idea of charter schools. Primarily, these are people who feel that the public schools, should be the driver. They feel that even within the town of Hempstead, the charter schools have done a terrible job let me rephrase that. The charter schools have done a good job of decimating the public schools, and they're pulling good kids out. The state money follows the student. So if the student goes to the charter school, that's where the money goes. How it impacts West Hempstead, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, again, a lot of people making a lot of noise, and after talking to them
on social media, how shocking!
Yeah, and talking to them, hearing what the school board has to say here, it may be a whole lot of nothing because first of all, it sounds like they're only going to be here for 18 months. So it's not even a full 2 years. They feel confident that they'll be moving into their space, I think on Fulton Street, fairly soon. And they're not really going to be using facilities that are part of the West Hempstead School District. I think part of the Archdiocese or part of
because that school building is the old St. Thomas, right?
Right. So maybe the parish will make a couple of bucks by getting a tenant
rental or whatever. Yeah.
Are they going to pull a lot of kids out of the West Hempstead School District? I mean, it's a question, but on the other hand, the West Hempstead School District is and the schools themselves, and run by Dan Riemann. It's a tight ship, and the graduation rates are. There's not like a problem there,
right? So this is the thing I wanted to call out because you were talking about the complaints in Hempstead proper, and I really don't want to cast aspersions here on a school district I know nothing about.
Okay,
but we know that it's I think not quite as economically well developed as it is here in West Hempstead.
Yeah.
And perhaps the schools are not in great shape.
Yeah.
And I frankly I respect a parent's decision to say, I'm not going to subject my kid to a school that isn't going to have their best interests in mind. The question I think here is a couple of things for them bringing it here, right? Are they going to get West Hempstead kids into what is officially a Hempstead school? Maybe. Maybe
Well,
they'll get some.
It's a private school, so the answer is yes. And
Right, but does this mean that in a year and a half, or let's be realistic, 2 years, assuming that they're going to move into their proper location, are we going to lose kids out of the West Hempstead School District? We've got, as you say, it's a good school system here.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to make a strong case to say that this new charter school is somehow going to deeply damage the West Hempstead School District. What we're still fighting here are declining enrollments and all the other problems, and that's not a reflection on the school district so much as the demographics, and I don't know that this charter school is somehow going to make that better, worse, or indifferent.
Right, and even if you pull that back a little bit further, the Diamond Charter School is going to be the third charter school that has a charter in Hempstead. So to your point, clearly there's a problem in Hempstead with the public schools, or at least the education, or possibly the perception of what education the kids are getting, and are the parents happy, or not happy. So therefore charter schools are born. I mean, when you see the Academy Charter School, it's a big operation, and it's been there for a bunch of years. So there seems to be a need there. Is there a need in West Hempstead? I don't know.
Hard to say.
Listen,
not to put too fine a point on it, and with respect to all charter schools and everything,
we got time to fill because Norm's not here. So
that's right. So I'll be Norm. Right. These things are for-profit organizations, right? That's why they're there.
They're actually non-profit organizations, but they're run as a business. Like they don't.
Okay.
They're not a public school.
They're not a public school. There is some financial incentive in here somewhere to do this right.
Yeah.
And as far as they're concerned, they want to get students so that they can stay in business and continue to do what they do. So I don't think this is a charity here exactly.
No, it's a business. I mean, even though it's a nonprofit, it's a nonprofit business.
It's a nonprofit business, right? But again, I mean, if this is really all about students, as far as I'm concerned, should have the opportunity to decide where they want to go. The parents should have a right to choose. And I don't love everybody freaking out saying, "Oh, we're going to destroy everything," especially for something that is supposed to be this short-lived.
Yeah, and you know what? We have a great ecosystem here in West Hempstead. Between the public school system, and you have Hank, and you have all the other schools, feeders, and it works. And the graduation rate in the public schools is over 90%, and it works. And you have a lot of happy kids, and you get kids that are placed in amazing colleges and universities. We've interviewed some of these kids over the years, and it works. So if it ain't broke, you don't have to fix it.
So, by the way, I just want to call out here. This is like the preseason for us. It's like
we're warming up for the budgets.
For the budgets, exactly.
The budgets.
But we do have some more education stuff here, do we not?
Yeah, I mean, yes. So this is about the extent of our podcast today. So the school had had a school board meeting on Tuesday. And I'm assuming very, very few people showed up. I didn't show up, but I did watch it on video. I know at the end of it, when they asked for questions from the community, all you heard were crickets. It went real quick. But there's some good news in that, according to the school system, Hank is going to be receiving 4 additional UPK seats, Universal Pre-Kindergarten seats, which brings them up to a total of 10. And YHT, Yeshiva Har Torah, added 1 seat, and so they get a total of 10 seats. Well, yeah. And this is all within the current school year. So, great job by the board to secure additional seats. Again, this is just another example of the great cooperation between private and public schools.
Here comes the tough news, right?
Yeah, so they talked about the budget. I'm telling you, even I was watching it on the computer, like I just wanted to fall asleep. I was struggling to get through it.
These things are not action movies.
No,
here.
but the bottom line is the budget is the budget. Transportation costs are through the roof, and I think for next year they're projecting a 14% increase in transportation. Health costs continue to go up, although I think year over year it's slightly down. The budget's like right up at the maximum.
And by the way, all of these budget numbers were whatever it was Tuesday, and gas is up 100, oil is $120 a barrel.
Oh yeah,
which
yeah,
just
yeah.
means that this estimate right now is very much subject to change depending on what goes on internationally.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, things will settle down sooner than later in the Middle East, and the price of oil will stop fluctuating. But that's definitely an issue. I mean, again, it continues to be an ongoing issue, especially with transportation. It's like an uncapped cost. In another year or two, any vehicles that are going to be purchased have to be electric vehicles.
Oh, God.
And those costs are going to be skyrocketing. The district transports over 1,200 students across 100 different schools. I mean, it's like,
see, that's
do the math.
Important. If it was 100 kids each to 12 schools, that would be one thing. But it's not. It's probably, and we've had this conversation with them. They're sending 5 buses to Hartora, and they're probably sending a few more to Hank, whatever it is.
And those are packed.
And right, but it's the single kid in one tiny bus getting dragged out someplace.
Okay,
that's hitting things worse than anything.
And that led to an additional discussion, which really made up the bulk of the end of the meeting. And there was a proposal by board member David Lazar. And he was saying, you have these vans that are coming in, I think, if I recall correctly, from BOCES, and they're around. Why can't we use like these, small vans and pilot a couple of them and see if they're able to handle some of the small routes and whether or not, it would be effective? First of all, pilots are always great ideas because you kind of, and the initiative is good. The rest of the board didn't think out of the box, and they came up with 20 different reasons, including insurance and staffing and all these other reasons. And by the way, probably valid. Why it couldn't work. So it was a very spirited conversation, and Superintendent Dan Riemann, and he has a way of kind of like just cutting through stuff in a way that I find, very refreshing and very interesting. And he's like, look, you look at New York City, and in New York City, kids go to school. They take the bus, they take the subway. I went to school in New York City, and plenty of kids commuted by public transportation. Is that an option? And, again, it's also thinking out of the box.
Well, listen, when I was a kid back in the Stone Age, I got a bus pass and eventually a bus and train pass. And I would flash that pass, and I don't remember if I had to give some cash occasionally or not. But no, it was like, you do it, and it was a nickel or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, I don't know.
Nickel get you on the subway.
Right. Look, such a thing isn't possible for a place like Hartora, and the reason for that is given where it's located in Queens, and the inability to get public transportation there. On the other hand, for kids going down to the 5 towns, where the buses go right down there, and I know of kids who my own kid would occasionally take the bus back and forth down to where she was in Hewlett. This is possible, and I'm with you. Like, look, we're facing talk about a pothole. This is a budget pothole we're facing. Without the filling.
Let's
try
you got to
everything.
throw it all out. And I think the point that you make is a fair one. The public transportation system in Nassau County, I mean, let's be real. It is not as built out as New York City. It's also not as dense as New York City. It's
and the routes don't go quite as many places.
So, to just say that a kid can go from point A to point B without having to take 3 buses and, walk 5 blocks, it may not be the easiest thing, But for certain kids who are going to high school and other things, yeah, I'm with Dan. With both Dans. You got to think out of the box. You got to come up with new ideas. Now, this is all state mandated. So, the problem with all of this is that, it's just not a problem for West Hempstead. It's a problem for everyone in the state. And the state continues to squeeze its education budget.
Yep.
So something's got to give. Either someone in the state's got to step up and say, okay, we're going to fund everything correctly. There was talk on the YouTube about improving the grid, and making, transportation overall better and getting people back to work to do it. All very nice, lofty ideas that are not really, quick to resolve. But 14% of the budget, and that's gone up a couple of points, year over year, and there's no end in sight. And again, just coming full circle, add these charter schools just makes it, a little bit more complicated and puts a little bit more pressure on it. So, overall, I think the budget is the budget, and the school budget vote is May 19th.
Yeah, by the way, I really want to call this out because I was curious. According to my latest Googling here, the New York State budget gap is $34 billion. That's billion with a B. So this is just, it's bad financing. Like, there's no way the math works. And so we're going to have a fight coming up in May. And the question everybody needs to ask themselves is, do you understand what this means? Because this is what we're spending our money on. And if you want your kids to go to places, come out and vote. Hey, May 19th, maybe?
Yeah, so, as usual, every year we do our interviews with Karen Brom and with the head of budget. The name is not popping into my head right now. But I'm not sure that there's going to be, a huge issue this year. UPK seats continue to expand, and that program continues to be run effectively. They didn't pierce the budget cap or ceiling, whatever that is. So, in general, I think things are status quo, but we'll see, maybe there's a surprise there that we don't know about.
Yep. And again, look, if you have questions, if you're not happy with the questions we're asking, come back to us and tell us what to ask. What do you want to know? We know what you want to know. You want to know, why your taxes keep going up? Why does it cost so much? Why are we, fighting with this?
Right.
And we're going to ask those questions anyway. If there's other stuff you want to know, come back and ask.
Yeah. The bottom line is transportation costs, as much as I hate to say it, and it was said at the board meeting, it's unsustainable the way that it's going. So they really, really, really have to come up with overarching solutions. It's either that or, Norm's solution of winning lotto, or, Dan and I, driving pedaling pedal bikes all over the place and delivering kids to schools. I don't know.
We'll get those. The Thailand, I think they have those tuk-tuks or something.
Yeah,
you're taking your life in your hands just to be near them.
You got to think out of the box. So, you know what?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And when you get a chance, go into restorers.
Oh boy, have I got stuff to share.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Okay, Dan, take it away.
I know, you got to know this. First of all, and I think we may have mentioned this, they now have quiche available. If you're looking for lunch options, cheese with vegetables and 3 cheese and all kinds of stuff. So by all means, pop in there. $7.25 each, I'm seeing. But this is the other thing. Guess what's reopening? The Cookie Bar.
Oh, yeah.
The Cookie Bar is open for after-school treats and all sorts of things every day. A bunch of different cookies. You could top it off with whipped cream and all sorts of other great stuff. So you definitely want to pop in, especially since it's snowing. You may as well go into the Cookie Bar and drown your sorrows in a red velvet.
Cookies and coffee. Oh man, maybe not for the kids, the coffee part, but it's
whatever works.
It's a real treat. And Dan, I'm hoping that we can get some of those cookies available online, because that would be a great compliment for everything else that we have available.
That'd be great.
For sale.
Ship those out and pop them in the microwave or something. something if you can get it done, and you're going to be all set.
Oh, man,
nice,
I'm
warm
getting
cookie.
hungry. Don't forget, go to ourbakery.com and order your Restore's goodies. I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, with just two of us, we've managed to rant for a while, so it's all good.
And again, be involved in the school board. Watch the charter school video. Let us know where the potholes are. And by the way, follow us on Facebook if you haven't already. We would really appreciate
or
it. And,
Instagram or YouTube. Go find us.
Yeah. And so, Dan, that's a wrap. And join us next week and have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Please be sure to visit our sponsors, Spiegel Law PC, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, and Reester's Bakery. To find out more or to reach out to us, come visit us on social media at Facebook and Instagram, or visit our website at westhempsteadecho.com.